It's one thing to tell more students to walk rather than riding the bus, but parents tell CBC that they're most worried about vulnerable students, preschool children who are just about to enter kindergarten. This is the last year you'll see buses pulling up to Regina Public Schools at noon for kindergarten students. This fall, the public board moves to full-day kindergarten every other day. For its part, Regina Catholic Schools will stick with half-day kindergarten. The special needs preschool this 4-year-old boy attends is closing. His mother says it's the most vulnerable children who are going to feel the deepest cuts.
Absolute disappointment and heartache. The program has been fantastic for my son. Cognitive disabilities are on the rise, and unfortunately there's a lot of kids that are coming up behind him who aren't going to be able to take advantage of this program in the future.
Faced with a $9.5 million shortfall, Regina Public Schools says it cannot afford to keep special needs preschools open. That includes closing one of the province's only preschools for deaf and hard of hearing children.
Well, we want to look at that. This was an announcement we heard this morning as well.
So what do you mean you want to look at it?
Well, we want to see whether we want to ask them to use some reserves. They created the program. It was not our program, so we want to ask them, what's happening and see whether it's something that we can do something with.
The province introduced more changes for schools today. The minister can now simply tell boards to make bulk purchases or to share buses. That does not sit well with the NDP's education critic.
His willingness to really kneecap boards in their ability to make any decisions, but has left boards to sit there to shoulder and be blamed, frankly, for these cuts, that they have no ability to raise their own revenue. So he's put them in an incredibly difficult position and has done that despite knowing that people across this province value that local voice.
As for where this leaves parents, a number of them say they're going to be complaining to their MLAs. Others are planning rallies, a couple going ahead in Regina over the next week. Parents of children who have hearing loss, who have special needs, say losing those early preschool programs really puts those children at a disadvantage all through their school life. And as for the rest of us, whether you live in Regina or Saskatoon, odds are pretty good you're going to be paying slightly more in education taxes this year, and our boards of education in both cities say more cuts are still to come. Jennifer Quesnel, CBC News, Saskatoon.